Alright everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and it brings me great joy to bring you this story today. We got this one from SmashJT.com. I'm going to give a shout out to SmashJT, one of my inspirations for kind of going in the direction of the news for this channel. So big shout out to him. I'll put a link to the article down below in the video. Kotaku Australia shuts down amid wider media restructuring. Let's keep the music in and we're going to talk about this. Alright, in a move that won't surprise many folks, Kotaku Australia, along with its sister sites Vice, Gizmodo, Refinery29, and Lifehacker have ceased operations in Australia. God bless America. The development was announced via Twitter, X, and is part of a broader strategy by the Australian-based pedestrian group to restructure and cut costs. Now this is a great thing. Kotaku, as you all know, is a garbage website. They're shills for the media, they're shills for game developers. They'll go out there. There's not something they won't put in their mouth for $1. Let's put it that way to keep it kid-friendly today. Yeah, these guys are just absolutely horrible. And I can't remember the recent thing they were talking about that was so... what was it? Somebody was trying to shut somebody down or something from that place, or trying to dock somebody, whatever, but they're just an absolutely garbage website. Now, I always hate people losing jobs. I'm not a big fan of that, as it is very hard in this day and age to find a new job, but if you are willfully bad at what you do, and you're just you go against your own industry or you're just in the way of progress, well, then you deserve to lose that job, and these guys deserve it. And I'm hoping that Kotaku US goes next. They just shut the whole thing down and rebuild it from scratch and cut all that dead weight out. But let's talk about this a little bit more. Dozens of jobs are being slashed in the process, making a significant change in the landscape of Australian digital media. Mike Rowley, CEO of Pedestrian Group, broke the news on Monday morning in Australia. He stated, "We've made the tough decision to focus on our wholly owned pedestrian brands where we control the strategy, the content, the product, the sales, and the outcome, the entire business. This will have an impact on roles within the group, and I appreciate the uncertainty this change creates, so we will be in contact immediately with those people." And among those affected is David Smith, the managing editor of Kotaku Australia, who is known by his handle Runewords on X. This guy is a freaking clown. Don't go give him a hard time or anything, but if you want to go check him out, I don't think he's protected yet. Yeah, he's just a complete clown in the stuff that he posts, and so couldn't happen to a better guy than this guy. Folks, I have some sad news to share. Today, the story of Kotaku Australia comes to a sad and abrupt end. It has been one of the great joys of my life to wake up every day and run a site I love with all my heart. See, these guys are just so soft, They're so disingenuous. He's a little hateful little puss. And yeah, he's just mad that he lost his soapbox there. But it's a step in a new direction for games journalism. With the closure of these sites undoubtedly affects many journalists that are now seeking new employment. I'd view this as a positive shift for games journalism in general. Hey man, this is only a good thing. The more of these legacy media places that get shut down, downsized, gutted, whatever, the better the whole industry is going to become. Okay? It's already happening in the actual game developers. They're closing studios left and right, laying off people left and right. It's a horror show right now. It's a bloodbath, to use a highly volatile term, according to depending on who uses it. When I use it, it's going to be volatile, I'm sure. But it's an absolute bloodbath out there as people are losing jobs left and right in the industry. But it's going to create a shakeup, and what's going to happen is the strong are going to survive. They're going to get together and they're going to be like, hey, you used to work for this company, I used to work for that company. They both did this wrong. What if we started our own company and we did things right, and we didn't fall into the old traps that these guys did? We don't push anything other than a good game. Let's make a good game. Let's make something that everybody loves, everybody wants to play, and everybody starts talking about it. And then boom, we're going to see some growth in the industry again. We're going to see new developers rise to the top. We're going to see new people talking about them, new people reviewing these games and pushing them forward. And we're going to see less people talking about stupid crap like how many genders there are in the game, and does it have pronouns, and are there enough black people and enough gay people and all that garbage. All that's going to fall to the wayside, and we're going to just get good games, and they're going to be natural games, and they're going to feel organic and real, and you're going to be able to play them and not be taken out all of a sudden by a weird, like, you know, whoa, where'd that thing come from? That doesn't belong there. That's obviously a token, you know, or that's obviously somebody checking off something on a checklist. Ugh, no, thank you. So yeah, Tebow's talking about it here. Oh my God, it's happening. Everybody stay calm, stay effing calm, blah, blah, blah. And he tags everybody there. And Smash JT, of course, responded to absolutely no one's surprise. Kotaku Australia is shutting down. The dominoes are beginning to fall. Geo Media owned Kotaku has often been at odds with gamers for over a decade now, beginning back when the original Gamergate saga, and more recently with their involvement with defending Sweet Baby Inc. throughout controversy. The ongoing tension has placed the site in a contentious position within the gaming community, where many like myself have felt a strong need for accountability for professionalism that has been sincerely lacking. To put it nicely, Kotaku has, to put it bluntly, been a cancer to the entire gaming community. DEI is a cancer. And Kotaku, yeah, they are as well. I mean, there's a lot of cancer in this community, and hopefully it's starting to get cut out, you know? Cut it out, slap some chemo on it, burn it away, and maybe some new fresh cells will grow in that are nice and healthy. But, yeah. Courtney Smith says, isn't it so strange and awful that a big part of your life can just be upended because of a dollar figure? Let me tell you, Courtney, the way things are lately, everybody is one paycheck away from some serious trouble, pretty much, you know? At least most of the world is. It's bad out there. It's really, really bad out there. And JT states, while I genuinely find no pleasure in hearing about individuals losing their job, my consistent message is aimed to highlight the concerning paths some in the industry have taken. I mean, this is coming from a guy who they've gone after his job. They have tried to cut this guy off at the knees. They've tried to dox him. They've tried to contact his employer, get him fired, get him in trouble. They've contacted his wife through messages and tried to imply that he's being inappropriate with women on the internet. These are disgusting, vile people. And here he is, taking the high road. I'm finding no pleasure in this. And good for you, man. Good for you. And I'd like to say I'm finding no pleasure in it. And I'm, you know, I know the sound of my voice is a little excited here, but yeah, this is a somber moment. Yeah. So Emily Spindler says, woke up from birthday leave to the sad news that my and so many of my gorgeous, talented colleagues' time is done writing for Kotaku, Gizmodo, Lifehacker, Advice, and Refinery. Gutted doesn't even come close to describing the feeling. I'll probably write something much more coherent once it's all sunk in, but the last 13 months have been a wild ride. Getting to work in my literal dream job, full-time with amazing people, has been life-changing. Sorry, Emily. But if Kotaku is your dream job, man, you need to reach higher. My hope is that those affected can now search for greater fulfillment and opportunities and new careers that better align with their skills and values. But I gotta be real, for the health and future of the gaming community, it's in everyone's best interest if those who have specifically contributed to negative practices could kindly GTFO of the video game industry and never look back. And he's right, man. They need to go. They need to be gone. Gone forever, 100%. Just, you don't need to be in video games. If you hate video gamers, you shouldn't be writing about video games. If you hate video games, you shouldn't be working in this industry. If you think video game, gamers are a bunch of misogynist, racist, whatever is, phobic, this and that and the other thing, maybe you should go find, work elsewhere. Maybe we're just not the target audience that you're looking for, That's all I can say for you. And if you want to stay in the video game industry, well, maybe it's time to do a little self-reflection and say, hey, I'm going to go for a second chance here. I'm going to go on my redemption arc. I'm going to get out there and I'm actually going to write real articles about the industry. I'm going to write about games. I'm going to write about upcoming things. I'm going to talk about trends. and I'm going to stay away from all the garbage and all the divisive bullshit. And I'm going to make I'm going to make a future in this industry, and hopefully people will forgive me. In the long run, I believe people can change. Well, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think people can really, really change now. I think people are who they are. And once they show their true colors, that's who you're dealing with. But you can change how you act. You can change the things you do. And maybe in doing so, eventually there will be some change inside of you. As long as you do it for the right reasons. So, I wish them all good luck. But like JT, I want them out of the industry, And if they choose to stay, well, then you better change. Because wherever you go, all you're going to do is drag down wherever you end up. And people like JT and myself and many, many others out there are going to continue to call you out and continue to crap all over you for your horrible practices. The wider implications for the gaming media landscape. The closure of Kotaku Australia puts additional pressures on other gaming media conglomerates, many of which who have faced similar layoffs and cutbacks. The struggle is partly due to the often hostile relationship between some journalists or activists in hiding and the gaming audience. For example, Alyssa Mercante, senior editor at Kotaku US, has been known for her critical and often aggressive stance towards JT and the gaming community at large. Searching out my wife's information and contacting her via Facebook DM because she knew she couldn't handle professional criticism was just the tip of the iceberg with this one, or how she cheered on getting Smash JT taken down by Nick Calandra of Flatulent Wind. A few screws loose on hinges with these creatures. And he's right. And there's those examples I was talking about earlier, specifically with him. I mean, crazy. These people are absolutely batshit crazy. The search for leadership continues. Kotaku US is supposedly still searching for a new editor-in-chief, a role crucial for steering the site through these turbulent times. The long-term effects of these Australian closures on Kotaku and its parent company, Geo Media, remain to be seen. The future looks uncertain for many involved in the current iteration of games journalism. If I worked at Kotaku US, I'd be actively applying elsewhere at this moment, but maybe that's just me. As the gaming media industry continues to evolve, only time will reveal the lasting impact of these closures. Unfortunately for the so-called games journalists, time is not on their side. Now, sorry. And she's big mad, Look at her out here. She's just kind of raging into the wind. You have no idea what journalism is. Your websites look like they're from 2001. They're riddled with typos. You use yourself as a source for stories. You have an internet connection and a webcam and think you have something worthy to say. You don't. We could just set my Nana up with a Razer Keo in her care home and she'd make more coherent shit. It's a shame that private equity and Google have gutted legacy media sites and the stupidest, cruelest people in the world are rushing in to fill the gaps. No, Alyssa, this is actually a good thing. It's actually the best thing that could happen. Legacy media is the most toxic thing in existence right now. And that's on every level of it. That's in sports, that's in regular news, that's in gaming, that's everywhere. Legacy media is absolute trash. It's owned by huge corporations. It's always rushing to fill an agenda, right? It's got to answer to shareholders. It's got to answer to this and that. It spins every single story. I mean, look at the presidential thing right now. Look at how legacy media is suddenly turning on their darling Joe Biden after just holding him up like they held up Bernie in Weekend at Bernie's in the sequel. For 4 years, they held this guy up. And now all of a sudden, they're just throwing him to the wolves because he's no longer serves their purpose. And they want to get somebody else in there. It's absolutely gross. Y'all are sellouts. Y'all are the worst of the worst, subhuman people, and you deserve everything you get. And I hope this trend continues. But I wish you all the best. Just somewhere else. Goodbye. Good luck. Get out. If you enjoyed this video at all, please leave a like on it down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and to ring that bell for notifications. I'll see you all next time. Until then, peace.